kuma sun jinjina gwagwado. Amma China sun masu sai tarado. Sun ji su ma kuma sun yaba da mun kukurdo. Sai ku sai ta kuri da kun ga mun kukurdo.
This is Freedom Global News.
Police repel terrorist attack in Katsina community. Central Bank of Nigeria reduces charges on electronic transactions. National Youth Service Corps Trust Fund Bill passes second reading. And on the foreign scene, ECOWAS suspends Burkina Faso over coup. Possessing a permanent voter's card is a duty to all citizens. Please ensure you acquire yours. Good evening. You're listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Zara Zanna. Today is the 28th of January, 2022. And now the news in full. The police have repelled an attack by terrorists who invaded Fadima village, Gorfi local government area of Katsina State. The spokesman for the Katsina Police Command, Gambo Issa, confirmed the development today. Residents said that the terrorists had attacked the village in the early hours of Thursday at 1 a.m. and rustled an unspecified number of animals. The police in Gorfi, who were alerted of the attack, reportedly moved to the village and engaged the terrorists in a gun duel, during which all the rustled animals were recovered. An unspecified number of terrorists were also said to have escaped into the forest with gunshot wounds. Meanwhile, 7 victims of human trafficking have been rescued from several local government areas of the state. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has announced a downward review of charges for electronic banking transactions in its revised guidelines to charges by banks, other financial institutions, and non-bank financial institutions. A circular by Chibuzo FOB for the Director, Financial Policy and Regulation Department stated that the review was in response to further evolution in the financial industry in the last few years. The Apex Bank stated that the new guide included a review of other bank charges to align with market developments. It stated that it's also comprised inclusion of new sections on accountability, responsibility, and a sanction regime to directly address instances of excess, unapproved, arbitrary charges. It added that the revised guidelines took effect from January 1st. The Nigerian Postal Service, NIPOST, has launched its e-debit card agency banking platform and 27 cargo logistic vehicles to improve its service delivery nationwide. Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, who launched the innovations, said the development was in tandem with the administration's target to achieve a digital economy. He noted that some of the innovations are new in the history of NIPOST and will go a long way in promoting and developing the economy of Nigeria. Pantami said the innovations will also help the government in improving transparency and fighting corruption. He said the NIPOST banking platform will allow NIPOST to conduct financial transactions with, most importantly, Universal Postal Union, UPU, member countries. Egypt captain Mohamed Salah is eager to win the African Cup of Nations with his country after leading the Pharaohs to the quarterfinals in Cameroon. The 7-time champions defeated Ivory Coast 5-4 in the penalty shootout after their round-off of 16 clash. Correspondent Ahmed Hamis Ugwale has details of this and other sports updates.
The 29-year-old is yet to meet a trophy at the international level, despite winning 4 trophies at club level. Salah admits guiding his country to Africa's biggest prize for an 8th time would surpass all his other achievements, with Morocco now standing between them and place in the semi-finals. Meanwhile, Real Madrid forward Karim Benzema has admitted winning this year's Ballon d'Or prize remains his priority. Benzema finished behind Chelsea Jorginho, Bayern Munich Robert Lewandowski, City and winner Paris Saint-Germain superstar Lionel Messi. In another update, Serbian striker Dusan Vlahovic arrived at Juventus for a medical on Friday ahead of a much anticipated winter break transfer to the Italian giant. An official announcement on the move from fellow Serie A club Fiorentina was expected later Friday. In another development, former Barcelona midfielder Alex Moriba has joined Valencia on a loan from Leipzig. The Spanish club announced on Friday. The 19-year-old Moriba will play for Barcelona until the end of the season and could face Barca when the team meet at Mestalla in La Liga on February 20. Similarly, Real Madrid midfielder Toni Kroos said he hopes team can sign PSG striker Kylian Mbappe off contract in June. Mbappe is expected to join Real Madrid at the end of the season. Recall that on Wednesday, Real Madrid attacker Rodrigo says the dressing room will welcome the arrival of Kylian Mbappe. And on tennis, Rafael Nadal moved one win away from a record 21st Grand Slam men's title after a dominant start enabled him to beat Italy Matteo Berrettini in the Australian Open semi-finals. 7-seed Berrettini eventually turned to the match into a contest, but Nadal completed a 6-3, 6-2, 3-6, 6-3 win. The 35-year-old Spaniard is a level on 20 major titles with long-time rivals Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer. Nadal plays Daniel Medvedev, who beat Stefano Tsitsipas in Sunday final. Ahmad Amisugale, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com.
Masoyina, gaskiya na ji daɗin fitowar da muka yi don cin abinci.
Gamuwa na da ke na daga cikin al'amari ɗaya da ke burge ni a rayuwa masoyiyata.
Wannan taron kuma daga ina ta fito.
Kada ki damu, babu ne wanda zai bata miki wannan yammaci. Ala baki da labarin comics.
Sha maganin tarin comics. Maganin tarin comics?
Maganin tarin comics shine kake bukata domin samun sauki. Sai ka bare, ka sha, dan ka samu sauki. Kamfanin Orange Drugs Limited ke tallata shi. Sai ku hanzarta domin samun naku maganin tarin comic. Idan tari ya ci gaba bayan kwana 3, sai ku tuntubi likita. Yawwa, na samu sauki yanzu. Ina son ki abin kaunata, kuma ina son maganin tarin comics.
Comics. Easy to use, just get drink. Carry water.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The National Youth Service Corps has expressed concerns about the lack of startup capital for Corps members after acquisition for entrepreneurial skills. The scheme expressed its gratitude as the bill seeking to establish a trust fund for Corps members skilled second reading in the House of Representatives. Sponsored by Samuel Akinfolarin, the National Youth Service Corps Trust Fund Establishment Bill 2021 passed the first reading at the House on December 16, 2021. NYSC Director General Major General Shuaibu Ibrahim said the trust fund will make the scheme's skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development program more impactful through provision of training facilities and startup capital for Corps entrepreneurs. The Kano State government has urged agencies and ministries to set an example to the public in terms of sanitation. The Commissioner for Environment, Dr. Kabiru Ibrahim Gitsu, made the announcement today while inspecting the sanitation of some government management agencies as part of the end-of-month sanitation component. Dr. Gitsu stated the sanitation project will help improve the environment.
We selected 3 MDAs. The first one was Ministry of Finance, after which we proceeded to State Bureau for Statistics. And here we are, our last MDA, which is Kano State Ministry of Information. I'm really happy with the success and the progress that this important exercise, end of month sanitation, is recording. Certainly, this is a laudable policy of Kano State government. As we can see, the exercise is yielding result because all the places that we have visited, we are really happy with the level of compliance with this policy of Kano State government. It is clear, we've seen it in reality. Right now, we can see people around this Ministry of Information conducting this important exercise.
Receiving the delegation, the Director of Administration and Management, Kano State Ministry of Information, Mustafa Ibrahim Baba, thanked both the Ministry of Environment and its commissioner. Correspondent Medina Shehu Hausawa reports that the ministry is warning the public to refrain from violating the sanitation law on Saturday, as action will be taken under a mobile court. And on weather, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has predicted the occurrence of dust haze from Friday to Sunday. NIMET's weather outlook predicted thick dust haze over Maiduguri, Nguru, Potiskum, Dutse, Gombe, Yola, Bauchi, Katsina, Kaduna, and Zaria. It also predicted similar weather conditions for Kano, Plateau, FCT, Taraba, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Niger. On Friday, the agency further predicted horizontal visibility values of less than 1,000 meters over the region. And on business, Muhammad Abba Abdullahi has updates.
The federal government now gives priority to local contractors, manufacturers, and professionals in terms of procurement. Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Ogbana Onu, stated this at the validation workshop on the draft revised 2022 National Science, Technology and Innovation (STI) policy held yesterday in Abuja. Onu noted that all the policies set off by the present administrations have assisted the nation in moving from depending entirely on commodities to depending on knowledge that is innovation driving. He added that the validation workshop will help to critically examine the document and prepare a final revised 2022 STI policy that will be sent to the Federal Executive Council for its consideration and approval. Meanwhile, the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, has charged cement manufacturers to take urgent actions to reduce the price of cement and building materials in the country. Emefiele stated this at the official commissioning of the new Buo Cement Sokoto Line 4 and groundbreaking for Line 5. However, retreated the Apex Bank's determination to provide immediate support for the importation of spares, plants, and equipment needed to increase the production capacity of cement companies in the country. He said the sector is one of the major sectors in the economy, helping to create employment opportunities and growth in the country. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, the West African bloc, ECOWAS, today suspended Burkina Faso following a coup, but will not impose other sanctions for the time being. ECOWAS is also calling for the new junta to release ousted President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore and other officials detained during Monday's coup. The bloc will hold another summit in Accra on February 3rd. The summit, which lasted around 3 hours, also decided to send a mission of ECOWAS chiefs of staff to the Burkina capital on Saturday. This will be followed on Monday by ministerial-level envoys from the bloc. We've come to the end of today's global news, but before we leave, highlights of our top stories. The police have repelled an attack by terrorists who invaded Fadimawa village, Gorfi local government area of Katsina State. Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has announced a downward review of charges for electronic banking transactions in its revised guidelines to charges by banks, other financial institutions, and non-bank financial institutions. The National Youth Service Club has expressed concerns about the lack of startup capital for club members after acquisition of entrepreneurial skills. And on the foreign scene, the West African bloc ECOWAS today suspended Burkina Faso following a coup, but will not impose other sanctions for the time being. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zara Zanna, have a great weekend.